Joining us now is Jackie Caputo. Jackie and I met at a business event at the Hilton, right around the corner from here. When I found out what she does and how she does it, I thought it would be an excellent guest to have on the show. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Donna. Thank you so much for having me here.
Now, I was so surprised to learn that what you specialize in is helping people have a more amicable divorce.
Yes.
Okay, what are the options when somebody goes to get divorced?
So there are really three primary options. There is mediation, collaborative divorce, and then your traditional litigation, which I think is what most people think of, and probably the reason why people are so emotional and stressed, because they think it has to be a difficult courtroom fight. And it does not have to be. So what I specialize in are the alternative methods of mediation and collaborative divorce.
Now, what are the difference between those two? Because they sound to me the same.
Right.
One
right.
is like, okay, we're getting along, we're going to divide all our stuff.
Right. And that's what everyone thinks,
Okay.
a friendly divorce. And there really are two different ways to go about that, and it's just a different model. So in the first model of mediation, there is a mediator, a professional who is quite literally in the middle of the two parties and trying to help them just have a discussion about how they might be able to reorganize their lives. So it's not a matter of having a winner or a loser or a knockdown, drag-out fight, but instead just sitting there and really talking very thoughtfully about how you might be able to reorganize. So that's mediation. And even in a mediation situation, the parties are able to have independent consulting attorneys to work with on the side if they feel that they need it.
Sometimes I think the divorce attorneys in a litigation type of thing, they need a mediator.
They sure do.
That's what's really very expensive for a couple, is that the two attorneys are fighting with each other as opposed to looking out for the client's best interest sometimes.
Yep. And that's exactly the problem. That interference can just distract you and actually cost you a lot of money. So the other option that couples have is something called collaborative divorce. And most people have never, ever heard that term before. And that's why this is such a great opportunity for me today to be able to explain how that works. So in that model, each party, each of the spouses has their own collaboratively trained attorney. So that's someone who has taken the training and understands this process. And you can also add on to the professional team a financial neutral, someone to help you make smart financial decisions.
Yeah.
Because I'm an attorney, but I certainly don't have an expertise in finances. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not an accountant. So to have someone else on the team who can help enlighten us and educate us all to reorganize the family in the smartest way financially could be very valuable. And then also part of a collaborative team can be a family specialist, someone with a mental health background, which can be very, very valuable, certainly to a family that's dealing with so much stress and anxiety and overwhelm in this process.
Well, statistically, 60% now end in divorce. 60%, not 50. You know, growing up, you know, maybe it was less than that when I grew up, and then it was 50-50 for a long time. You know, now the statistics are 1 in 60 divorces. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
60%, not 1 in 60, but yeah, 60%. I think that's a lot. So it's helpful to know that these other alternatives can happen.
Yes.
Because it's you hear it time and time again. You know, it's just like the only body that made out in this divorce were the attorneys, right?
And that's the
true.
truth.
And that's why I liked you, because when I first met you and we were talking, you have such a beautiful, I guess, family-centric approach.
Yes.
Whether it's just two individuals and they're a family that are apart, or also including the children. You also came up with some really great ideas and tips, Jackie, about how to, like, what the next steps are, right? And one of them is like, well, once you pick the option, then how to prepare, but then also how to prepare yourself.
Right.
Like can we talk about that? Because that's important.
Yes, it's so important. And in the traditional courtroom litigation route, it's not something that's given any consideration. You're thrown into it. And you're already at a point where you're so vulnerable and struggling in so many ways with the things that are most central and important to you. And so you really need to fortify yourself and strengthen yourself before you launch into this. And so I always tell my clients, you're probably having a lot of heart-to-heart conversations with your friends, maybe with your mom. But I suggest to people that maybe it's smart to have someone take an independent look and have an independent conversation with you to help you figure out if you're really navigating this as best as you can. And so I encourage my clients to reach out to either a therapist, or there are actually divorce coaches out there, which is something that most people don't even know. So there are a lot of resources, and I try to work with my clients very early on to get them connected to those resources.
And even as simple things in terms of like maybe going to get a massage like once a month or something.
Absolutely.
You know, or like just try to do something nice for yourself. Go get your nails done, or for a guy, go out and have a guy's night, you know, or
Sure.
something. I mean, like whatever, you know,
Yes.
like, you know, go rock climbing. Do
Yes.
something that can take your focus off of the situation.
Yes.
Thank you, Jackie. Is there anything else before we close? That I appreciate you coming on, because it is very scary for some people. And I'm like, what do they do? Where do they go? What are their options? So it's ADR, which is an alternative divorce.
Alternative dispute resolution.
Oh, okay.
And in the divorce space,
dispute resolution.
yes,
Okay.
and in the divorce space, that would be your options in mediation and collaborative, rather than going straight to court.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you're going through something difficult, I hope that you can find the resources that you need to make it a little more palatable. And Jackie has been joining us from the Joseph Law Group. Thank you for watching.